Previously on Deeges and Dragons.
We saw the lights come on. I don't know if you guys are like trying to stay hidden, if you're going to look at what's happening. And the lights are in the distance, mind you. They're just like those big sort of industrial, construction site lights. You do start hearing some sort of machinery.
I will get up and I'll go over to the window, but I'm not going to stand in front of it. I'm going to
you'll stand to the side, and you can see that there's stuff there, but it looks like where the stuff is happening is below elevation wise where you are. Does that make sense? So you can't quite see what's happening, as it looks like it's down sort of in a pit or whatever,
All right, guys, want to go investigate?
Before we do that, and I kind of just take a look at the trap door on the ground.
There doesn't seem to be any way to open it from there's no handle or anything. You eventually find sort of a wall panel.
So this is where I'll activate my cybernetics.
You close your eyes and we see there's weird sort of light emanating from behind your lids as little electricity is coursing through your veins. We see you punch in a code, and then we see sort of a large spark, and it knocks you back onto the ground. And we see
then you hear Sawyer's laughter.
We see the door sort of slide open. It looks like it goes down about 20 feet and it ends on one of those sort of metal sort of walkway things. So you sort of head down, ladder ends, and there's sort of a walkway, and you look around and urinate. There's a relatively large open space down here. You can see there are walkways below you and stuff. He has entered deep into the building, and he's motioning for you to leave. You can't hear him. We're behind a huge glass door, and he's motioning for you all to go. The light flashes, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the starts heading off. So it looks like Popsy is going to take one for the team here.
Now that both Ellie and Davey are safe, now his motivation is, well, I can't have Popsy save the day by himself. Can't let him have all the glory.
Where are we going?
North.
Welcome to Deeges and Dragons.
Therapeutic benefit in role-playing games. Welcome to Deeges and Dragons.
Oh yeah, baby.
Your presence requested in exchange for treasures.
Red Ripper.
Are we talking one treasure each?
Count that.
Act 5. And this is the fifth and final act of our television show. We have come back from commercial. Things are getting dramatic and exciting now. We had family drama to begin with. Now we're into sort of the espionage action portion of our television show. To remind everyone, you have 10 spotlight tokens to spend amongst yourselves. Keep in mind, we only have 12 dice rolls we're going to make this act. So that means for basically every die roll, you can use a spotlight token. Spotlight tokens, as I explained first time around, I will explain again, are basically you highlighting something about your character, whether it be the actor or the character himself. And so you say, I'm a concert pianist. Can I figure out this by having heard the tones? Sure, absolutely. Let's try it. So it's sort of focusing the spotlight on your character to do a cool thing. So make sure to use those. Basically, only 2 rolls you'll not be able to. Keep in mind, you all have special effects points. You can spend them in clumps of 1 or 2, assuming you have left. A couple of you have spent some of those points there. It's a pool. If you want to share them with other players, I don't care. It's meant to be you have a budget of this much. So if you
Is it possible to regain those points after spending them?
Right now, no. In a normal, there are rules for that, and it would, it's sort of you go and make rolls to do a thing, and then you could get points back, so sort of accumulate them. But being that we're in the fifth and final act, again, this is where you can share them with others. So we come back, Ellie and Davey pop back up into the little house on the outside. We definitely hear commotion outside. We hear vehicles starting up and stuff. It appears that your presence is known, and the 2 of you are downstairs. Sawyer, are you going to try and get Popsy to let you in and help you, or do you want to, how do you want to get through the door? Do you want to do something else crazy and exciting and off script? You can also. So
yeah, I'll see if Popsy will open the door.
Popsy, you gonna let him in to help you?
Somebody needs to keep an eye on me.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. All right, Popsy, come on. He's just trying to help you out here.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a moment of Popsy wanted to go out a hero, maybe, and Sawyer's come on, old man, let's win this one. No one needs to die. So,
everyone goes home.
You head off to your thing. and you hear the sound of someone coming and doing something. Davey and Ellie, what do you two want to do? What are you two going to do now? You're free from being down in the missile silo.
So I'm thinking. So we hear a whole bunch of commotion and stuff outside. I guess I'm going to go over to that same window that I looked at earlier to see where those lights and everything were, to see if I see anything different this time around.
Again, you heard the sound of machines start, vehicles starting up and stuff like this. It looks like they're beginning to. You see vehicle lights flashing through the woods as if they're moving around, and sort of turning or doing something like this. There definitely seems to be something happening there.
Okay.
Most likely indicated by the alarm.
But are they heading in this direction, or are they just kind of swarming around that area?
They haven't started moving up there yet.
Okay.
But from what you can tell, again, it's a little hard to make out. Again, you could head over because you're literally behind the lights. The lights are projecting this way, and you're behind them. So you guys could certainly go up and peek over and see what's happening over there if you like.
Oh, okay, because kind of under the cover of. Okay, I get you.
Yeah. So imagine there's lights facing this way. You're behind it.
Yep.
So you're not going to be backlit.
Yeah. Okay. So if that's the case, then I'm going to suggest that to Davey. Let's go take a quick look and see what's going on over there, and maybe after that head back and radio in.
Okay. Davey, can you make me a thought roll?
1 second. 11.
Okay. So you've seen the silo open up. You didn't see the missile in there, which you realize now is a little weird. You're out here. There's definitely something happening over there, but you're sort of thinking about trying to piece all these pieces together about what's happening. And you know that with the non-proliferation treaty, there's all sorts of stuff about these weapons in here, and you could easily see Odessa, which has its fingers in the whole world. There are evil tentacles everywhere. That maybe they're trying to sort of steal a missile. If you were to guess that might be something that's happening here. In addition, as you're assuming you're going to head out the window and follow Ellie and head off, is that a correct assumption?
Mm-hmm.
You're sort of doing that, and you see a little light coming through the woods, just a single light, sort of bobbing, like something on a vehicle, but just a single light. And you hear the sound of a mini bike.
So I'm going to utilize my cybernetic ear to see if I can hear anything else besides the mini bike, any other kind of activity.
Okay, you don't even need to do that. So you pause for a minute,
Okay.
taking focus of the mini bike, and again the light is coming this way, and you see it's Sandy heading over on a mini bike. So bringing it all back.
Yeah.
Okay.
All those little details we planted earlier, as if I knew what I was doing. We're gonna bring them back. And you see, then there's a couple other mini bikes, and you see some of the riffraff that Sawyer was hanging out with, the kids from school. Looks like they're all heading down here to their little party area. So Ellie has taken off and headed towards sort of the light, and you're sort of here, and you're like, huh, so maybe you're at a point what do I do here?
Yeah. So I see Sandy, I see these other people, right? So I'm going to be kind of overcome with embarrassment. So I'm just going to kind of hide behind a tree, and I'm going to watch and see what happens.
Overcome with embarrassment because you're with your mother?
Yes.
A secret agent mission?
Yeah.
You could gain big points here, but sure. So you sort of watch, and let's have you roll 2 dice. I just want to see what we sort of get with that. So,
Sure.
Yeah, see where the dice of.
Can you show the number again?
What?
Can you show the number again?
Oh, this is act. This is.
Oh, okay.
our second
Second roll.
roll.
Okay.
Second roll.
So that is 6.
Okay. So what I was rolling for was to see if they noticed your bike and put it together. So I just wanted to see sort of where things lie with fate. So they do not. So they sort of come and they park their stuff here, and it looks like they're a bunch of rowdy teens and young adults getting ready to have a little illicit party. They don't really take too much notice of sort of the lights there, as if this might be a relatively common thing. They park their mini bikes and they head over, and Sandy sort of gets to the window first, and you're sort of like hiding and staying behind them, so like light wouldn't sort of give you away. And Sandy's like, the window's open. You guys didn't close the window last time? They're like, no. Like that. So don't worry about it. Let's head on in, and let's do our thing. So they start sort of crawling in there. Some people stay outside and they're starting like a little fire and smoking cigarettes, popping open cans of beer, stuff like that. So Popsy and Sawyer, what do you want to do? Do you want to engage the enemy, or do you want to try and sort of find out what the heck is going on?
How does the enemy appear?
They haven't appeared yet, but you have a choice. You could, enemies coming from here, you could go that way, or you could go the other way.
Why I ask is, like, are they scientists or are they soldiers?
You could, if you want to make an adventure roll, you could try and gather that information.
Okay.
And again, you can spend a spotlight token because you only have nine rolls after this one. So
yes, let me let's see. Perfect spotlight.
So that gives you, spotlight token gives you an extra 2 dice. You don't need to necessarily define it now. I'm not gonna nickel and dime you on it. So basically,
all right.
You're a science guy. So you're like, what's going on here? Would this be scientists coming? Would it be soldiers? That's fair enough. Like, you understand the way these things work. You've worked in government situations before. So
okay, all right. Cool.
So that's totally fine with me. So you could be like, wait here, and so make your die roll, and we'll see what it is. So
it is an 8.
An 8. So do you want to fail, or do you want to succeed? Do you want to give up control or maintain control?
Succeed.
Okay, so you want to succeed and give up control of your character. All right, so you're there, and you're like, so you go to Sawyer and be like, look, this is a facility. Like, if they're, whatever they're doing here, there's not going to be, there's going to be some guards, but it's mostly going to be, just people working here, scientists, input engineers, data engineers, and like that. We don't have too much to worry about. And that is indeed true, except that there's a lot of them, as you sort of like went out to sort of like look around and see what things are. So Sawyer, are you going to stay and fight, or are you going to head off the other direction?
I am gonna stay and fight.
All right. So why don't the two of you give me some adventure rolls? You're gonna suffer a 1 die obstacle for these rolls, assuming you're spending spotlight tokens to do awesome things. So this isn't your final roll, so if you only have limited special effects left, you could save those for sort of big conflict. And so whatever your adventure is, no, this is the mooks. These are the mooks early on. Whatever your adventure is, add 1 die to that, and you're going to keep your best 2.
Okay. I got it. An 11.
That's good.
2.
A 2? How many dice did you roll?
So I have a -1 adventure, and then another -1 to put me at -2, and then
No. You get, so you spend a spotlight token, that gets you 2.
which gave me 2, so that brings me to +1.
Yup.
And then an obstacle.
And then you get an obstacle, so you're at 0.
Right. So then I only roll 2.
And you can spend, you could do something, sort of along the lines there, if you want. Or, Sawyer, if you wish, you can give 2 dice to Popsy, and maybe your result will be a little worse, but you can help the old man out, which I'm sure part of you would want to do to sort of get a 1-up on him.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna let the old man burn and use this as salt for a wound later.
Okay, so with rolling 2 and keeping only 2, you got a 2. You roll 2 1s. Yes.
Yeah, you're correct.
Okay, so Sawyer, you're looking awesome, doing like some karate kung fu stuff, taking down mooks. You turn around and you see that Popsy has been captured by the enemy, and they are taking him away, and they're closing doors behind them as they sort of head off and have their quarry of Popsy. And Ellie, we come to you and you sort of peek out and you see, remember we mentioned tractor trailers earlier? We see tractor trailers and we see large machines that currently are not loading sort of missile parts into them, but you could guess that this is what they were doing. We see a bunch of sort of Odessa soldiers down here sort of moving into action as the alarm is going off. You turn, looking to pull Davey over, and you notice Davey is not here. And you're sort of looking down, and it looks like so you sort of are looking down like a hill, a little cliff, sort of we're at the sort of cliffs I mentioned in Act 1 that were sort of we're out in some areas in the water here, so we can see the water in the distance. And you see, as you're looking down, you can see there's a large sort of like entrance carved into the cliffside where sort of they're pulling stuff from. Right now it's looking like they're moving into action because obviously some sort of intruder has been made its way here. You do not currently see Davey because he sort of did what Davey does, and that's kind of go off and do his own thing. And it looks like there's definitely Odessa. You can see, the soldiers are wearing sort of the Odessa logo stuff here, and it looks like they are indeed trying to steal, this missile.
Noticing that Davey's not there, I kind of like glance around to see if I can see him, and then look down again and look down like into the like ravine, whatever you want to call it, where all the kind of construction of the vehicles and everything are, and like piecing together that it looks like it might be something for missile parts using my spy training, I guess.
Oh yeah. No, I mean it's obvious. There's like a thing carrying a nuclear and the whole,
Okay.
Non-proliferation treaty. Like they're basically stealing missiles that the government was going to maybe the government didn't want anyone to know about, but they hadn't gotten to them yet. So
okay. So I guess I see all that, which kind of like it takes me aback a little bit, but I also now understand why we're here. And but now the fact that like I don't see Davey and I also see all these soldiers and everything, like I start thinking the worst. So
you turn around behind you and you see there's a bunch of kids partying like way back at the house.
Okay. So then in that case, I guess I will kind of make my way over to the house, but kind of still try to stay in the shadows so I'm not seen.
Okay.
And see if I can kind of overhear things or see kind of what's going on.
Okay. So let's make an adventure roll. Again, you can use your spotlight if you like.
So let's see.
So your normal adventure is what?
My normal adventure is two. So I'd roll 4.
So now you're rolling. You're gonna roll 6 dice. Keep your best 2.
Okay. So. So a 6 and a 5, so 11.
11. So you're good. So you're able to sneak back, and you see it's a bunch of kids, but they are very clueless about sort of the danger that lurks over there. So this is a situation in the show where I can't tell you what to do with your character, but there might be some motherly instinct kicking in. You do see that Davey's sort of hiding out watching this, and Davey's struggling with like what he should do. So this is like the moment where you're like, do you let your kid be a kid, or do you say like, hey, we've got a mission to do here? So, that's what I would see if I was writing the script for it. That you have this weird moment where you're sort of, and you want to be protective of these kids maybe, and so whatever. So that's where we're at. So you are able to get a lay of the land. The kids are just here sneaking out into the woods and partying. And Davey is like, maybe he sort of wants to go over and hang out with the kids. Maybe he doesn't know what's going on. So he's struggling with his feelings.
Cue the fan on her face so the hair like fluctuates while she ponders.
Oh no, and there's definitely the Vaseline on the lens. Like she's very good at seeing her like being concerned. Absolutely. So.
Yes. So I guess so as much as I want to try and steer all the kids away from danger, I also realize that there is a much larger danger and that the mission is probably most critical. I'm going to try and make my way over to Davy without being seen.
Sure. That's not a problem. You got a good roll. Not a problem.
Cool. So I make my way over to Davy, and I'm like, I don't know what happened to you, but over there, they're definitely trying to steal a missile or something to that effect. There's definitely some Odessa involvement there. We either need to get out of here and report back, or we got to try and find Pops and Sawyer. Davy
doesn't care.
Davy doesn't care.
Davy's like, Sandy's so pretty.
Yeah, I'm kind of like.
I can't. Hey, stop looking at Sandy. Listen to me. The mission.
Yeah, I'm kind of eyeing her. I'm like, all right.
I just briefly asked Dave, like, do you know why these kids are here? Did you hear anything today at school or anything like that?
No, I mean, they told me that they were going to get ice cream.
Ice cream? There's no place for ice cream.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.